the authority. C, the achievements of the authority to date. D, the accounting officer or officers of the trade fund, the authority, and all officers assigned and responsible for the operations of Trade Development and Investment Authority since its inception. E, annual reports for the financial years 2023, 2024, I may repeat. E, that is annual reports for the financial years 2023 to 2024, 2024 to 2025, outlining the performance and operations of the Trade Development and Investment Authority, including financial and non-financial statements required under the Nyandarua County Trade Development Investment Authority Act 2020, as guided by the provisions of Section 164 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. F, the extent of implementation of the Nyandarua County Trade Development and Investments Act pertaining the investment strategy, the authority's annual plans, and possible reasons for non-implementation or disbursements of the allocations of the trade fund. And last, that is G, the measures being taken to ensure that the trade fund benefits the people of Nyandarua during the financial year 2025-2026, considering it has a budgetary allocation of Kenya shillings 25 million. Those are the questions. Honorable Speaker, that's the notice paper of 2024-2025, February 2026, and I do table.
Thank you, Honorable Ibra, the minority leader. Whip. The notice paper is duly tabled. So, Clerk, we can go to the next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Mr. Speaker, sir, under this order, there is a report to be tabled by the Honorable Isaac Mbai Kamau, the Chairperson, Committee on Water, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Very well. Honorable Isaac Mbai Kamau, Chairperson, Committee on Water, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to table the report on budget implementation for Department of Water, that is Committee, the Department of Water and Sanitation, Environment and Tourism and Climate Change and Natural Resources. Report for financial year 2023-2024, and I table.
Thank you, Honorable Mbai. The report is duly tabled. The same shall be processed as directed by the House Business Committee. That is pursuant to Standing Order 157.5D. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a notice of motion to be issued by the Honorable Isaac Kamau Mbai.
Very well, Honorable Mbai, Chairperson and member for Ithioro Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Water, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources on the budget implementation for financial year 2023-2024 as a report of House and the recommendation therein as the resolution of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Notice of motion is duly given and the same shall be processed as directed by the House Business Committee. That is pursuant to Standing Order 157.5D. Clerk, next order.
Order number 7, statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a statement to be sought by the Honorable Geoffrey Waroiro Kamwana, the member for Gadara Ward.
Honorable Kamwana. Yes, Honorable Gatungo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, been in touch with Honorable Kamwana, who has sought leave to be assigned some other times because he can't make it today, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. I refer the same back to the House Business Committee. Next order.
Under the same order, Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a statement response to be issued by the Honorable Edina Ndombogo Kimori, the Chairperson, Committee on Public Service, Administration and Devolution.
Very well. Honorable Ednard. Yes, Honorable Katongo, I see. Oh, yeah, the Vice Chair, Honorable Sasha. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Sasha Wamai from Nyandarua.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm here to give a response to the report of the Committee on Public Service Administration and Devolution on the status of constitutional threshold of 2/3 in the rank of chief officers. We acknowledge that, Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the committee, I wish to convey our sincere gratitude to your office and the Office of the Clerk for the invaluable support accorded to us, which significantly contributed to the effective execution of our mandate. I also take this opportunity to commend the members of the committee and the committee clerk for their steadfast dedication, professionalism, and selfless commitment throughout the preparation of this report. Further, the committee extends its appreciation to the Department of Public Service, Administration and Devolution for their cooperation and for providing the information requested in a timely and comprehensive manner. In the view of the foregoing, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is both my honor and privilege on behalf of the committee to table this response report before the House for its consideration and approval. The members of the committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Committee of Public Service Administration and Devolution has the Honorable Edina Ndombogo Kimori as the chairperson, Honorable Sasha Wamayu, who is myself, vice chairperson, Honorable James Kiruga Shomba as the member, Honorable Peter Gadongo Kamau as member, Honorable Zachary Mwangi Jero as member, Honorable Joseph Kuria as member, Honorable Mary Wanjiko Kabiru as member, Honorable Catherine Nyawera Madenge as member, and lastly, Honorable Patrick Muhindi Karaoke as member. The committee secretariat, we have our clerk, Mr. David Mutahi. I will go straight to the terms of reference. Mr. Speaker, sir, the statement that was sought reads as follows. I hereby seek a statement from the chairperson, Committee on Public Service Administration and Devolution, addressing the following concerns. Aware that Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 outlines the values and principles of public service, which inter alia include accountability and administrative acts of and transparency and provision of the public of timely and accurate information. Further aware that Article 27(8) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that the state shall take legislative and other measures to implement the principle that not more than 2/3 of the members of elective or appointive bodies shall be of the same gender, while Article 175 provides that no more than 2/3 of the members of representative bodies in each county government shall be of the same gender. Noting, Honorable Speaker, that His Excellency the Governor, being a state officer, is bound by the tenets and dictates, values, and principles of public service and good governance as enshrined in the Constitution while making appointments in the county government, concerned that the appointments of chief officers as presently constituted do not meet the constitutional gender threshold of 2/3. Further concerned that the sustenance of the status is a perpetuation of unconstitutionality. Arising from the foregoing, I seek that the chairperson of the Committee of Public Service Administration and Devolution does provide the following information. So this is the information we were required to give. The first, the name of all chief officers as presently constituted with the department of which each of them is in charge. Secondly, whether the office of the county attorney has noted the issues of constitutional gender threshold in relation to the appointments of chief officers, and if so, provide any legal constitutional advisories made on the matter, and whether the appointing authority has any plans to ensure the constitutional gender threshold of 2/3 is achieved in the ranks of chief officer. So that was the statement by one Honorable Kayani. The Committee on Public Service, Administration and Devolution considered the statements, and in the undertaking the mandate, we convened several meetings to deliberate on the issues raised in the statements. Pursuant to these considerations, the committee, through correspondence reference, as stated in the report dated 12 November 2025, we invited the relevant department to appear before our committee on the 19th November 2025 and to submit detailed written responses to the specific matters raised. During the meeting held on 19th November 2025, the department did not present the requested written submission and instead sought additional time to prepare a comprehensive response. The committee resolved that verbal representations would not be sufficient for purposes of accountability and informed decision-making, and therefore directed that formal written submissions be provided. Subsequently, on 1st December 2025, the Office of the Clerk received a communication from the department via letter reference as stated there, dated 18th November 2025. The committee carefully examined the contents of the submission and, upon due consideration, prepared this response. The correspondence and materials received from the department from the basis of this report and are annexed here too for the reference of the House, so you can find it in your tablets. The report is there. They submitted the names of the chief officers and the chief officers in the different departments. Mr. Speaker, sir, upon reviewing the department submission, the committee noted that the current composition comprises of 2 female officers and 13 male officers. The committee therefore observes that the constitutional 2/3 gender rule has not been complied with. Secondly, whether the office of the county attorney has noted the issue of constitutional gender threshold is in relation to the appointment of chief officers, and if so, provide any legal constitutional advisories on the same matter. The department, Honorable Speaker, did not respond on this issue. Thirdly, whether the appointing authority has any plans to ensure the constitutional gender threshold of 2/3 is achieved in ranks of the chief officer. Firstly, we checked on the directors and the compositions of the directorate, and we realized that in response to the above inquiry, the department submitted an annexed list of directors. Upon review, the committee noted that the county has a total of 27 directors, comprising of 7 male and 20 females. Consequently, the committee observed that constitutional 2/3 gender rule has not been complied with. Remember, the 2/3 applies to both male and female, so they have not complied on the directorate. B, the deputy directors. In response to the inquiry concerning deputy directors, the department submitted an annexed list of officers serving in that cadre. Upon review, the committee noted that the county has a total of 44 deputy directors, comprising 25 females and 19 male. The committee therefore observes the constitution 2/3 gender rule has been complied with at this level. And C, the assistant directors. The department submitted an annexed list of all assistant directors to the committee for consideration. Upon review, the committee noted that the county has a total of 35 assistant directors, comprising 12 females, 23 male. The committee therefore observes that the constitutional 2/3 has been complied with at this level. On the conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the committee finds that the current position of the chief officers, comprising two females and 13 males, does not meet the constitutional requirement that not more than 2/3 of members of appointive body shall be of the same gender. The committee further notes that, with the concern that failure by the department to respond to the inquiry regarding any legal or constitutional advisory from the Office of the County Attorney on this matter. while compliance has been observed at levels of deputy director and assistant directors, non-compliance persists at the level of chief officers and directors. This continued imbalance undermines the constitutional principles of equality, inclusivity, and good governance as enshrined in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The committee therefore urges the appointing authority to take deliberate and immediate measures to ensure full compliance with the constitutional two-thirds gender principle in future appointments and any subsequent reorganization of the county executive structure. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Sasha, for that response. I know the speaker was Honorable Patrick Mohindi. It's not in the house. Any reaction from any member? Yes, the Honorable Minority Member for Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think as much as it was ruled, which we are not reviewing the ruling, that when somebody seeks a statement, that he does not need to be there because it's the property of the House. But I also would think that it is good leadership quality to note that you sought for business and avail yourself when that particular business is being dispensed with. I am not speaking for anybody, but Speaker, from where I sit, I know when you seek a statement, the amount of time it takes for the executive and the number of officers who are put together to be able to answer to that question, there is a lot of time that is taken, which ordinarily would have been for purposes of other businesses, but which stops so that a question can be answered. When the person who have sought it is not even available to even listen or make a comment on it, then it is not towards a good mean. But in the meantime, and I would want Speaker to note this as Joel finishes, it is also a good observation that, especially with the chief officers, we are not, of course, fulfilling the requirements of law. But because we have an opportunity where we know that we have 3 chief officers, who most of the other chief officers are in acting capacity, it would then be prudent. And maybe I also need to advise to when a statement is sought, towards what end does it go? At what point do you now say that this statement can reach to appointing authorities for purposes of ensuring then that with the other 3 appointments which are underway, and especially to those other places where chief officers are acting, that there be that communication to the appointing authority that it will be prudent for that recognition that we are not complying with the law, and that is the government tries to cure that problem by ensuring that the appointments not necessarily goes to women, but we are trying as much as is practically possible to ensure that, which of course means, if you are looking at the numbers, means literally that you're not necessarily telling the governor that you're going to appoint all the 3 chief officers as women, but literally that is how it looks. Although it was not a question that was raised, but it has always been there that we also want representation, and especially the people living with disability. Something that we always talk about when we are discussing all other serious positions, the small positions. But when it comes to senior appointment of CCs, of CEOs, of the directors and all that, you find that we want to push those people down there to those other positions that are board members, GP appointments for these, the ones that do not have the real cream of decision making. So my observation would be that it will be a requirement to ensure government complies at all times on these simple provisions of law. There is an argument, Mr. Speaker, we had when we were doing audit reports here, and there is that question that is coming at the audit reports related to center, especially on people living with disability. the general argument has always been that we advertised but nobody applied. I am just wondering if I am out of order, I can be corrected, whether do we want to make it compulsory that if you are saying you want to appoint 9 people, can there be a clause that clearly indicates that there is a specific preserved position of these 9? One is specifically for people living with disabilities, and that the idents of such requirement is also special. Because if you're saying that you are having somebody who is a little challenged in his own other things, there is no way again you also put the same person with the same idents, the same requirements as the other people who have not even been given a chance to appear. Like, say, for example, in matters of experience, in matters of, can they be different? Can that position be specific, that the competition is there, it is for people living with disabilities, only them who can apply? The question of youth, can there be clarity that this position, out of these 9, there is this one position, and the only people who can apply for this one position are people below the age of these, so that we don't struggle. And when you look at it, and especially the boards, which you have been looking at the audit report, you'll find all of them, the answer they are giving you is that when we put the advert, nobody applied. So can it be deliberate? I don't know, because this was not a motion. I'm just putting an observation that maybe we can look in the future, especially the people who are at a public service, they can look into how we are going to address this issue of special groups and ensure that the government, through a legislation, is forced to put adverts in a certain specific manner that gives these people an opportunity to be able to apply. I don't know what the report was all about in terms of support or that, but I think it was also a good eye-opener for ensuring that we are asking the government to comply with the legal provisions which are necessary for a good society. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Gishoki, for that contribution. And indeed, members, as we had stated, it is critical that when a person seeks a statement, ensure you follow up and you are in. Maybe I have any other member before yes, Honorable, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, taking cue from Minority Leader, I still emphasize also that it is critical that if one has sought a statement, must follow up. Otherwise, we can question the motive of raising the statement. We can question the motive, Mr. Speaker, because once the statement is sought, it is also in the public domain that such a statement has been sought. And when the same person is not there to express satisfaction or otherwise of the statement, then if he was malicious in seeking the statement, then the earlier position will prevail, and then he could even be trying to dent the government of the day. However, Mr. Speaker, I believe that as much as we put emphasis on the third gender rule, I think this is a law that needs to be put under review. Because, Mr. Speaker, if we say that a third of every gender in all, and the word is all, government appointments, you find that there are some government jobs or some jobs that a certain gender will never apply because of hardship involved in that particular kind of job. When they don't, what happens? Then for all these soft landing jobs, then you find that that is where the noise is, especially the job like we do. We do a lot of work to get elected, Mr. Speaker, because soliciting for votes is not a cup of tea. But then, when we get elected, all of a sudden, a certain Jeddah that is careful not to go to the whole of the campaign. I mean, they come fighting, we have to have our Jeddah. But then when we have our government, especially our county machinery, the excavators, the lorries, and all those jobs, staff jobs, and the cabro making factory, you find that a certain Jeddah tries to avoid that. I think if we have to review the rule, then we have to make it compulsory even for them to apply. If not, then we remove the Jeddah rule. And we say that let competence rule the day. Let the competence apply. Let those who applied and have shown the interest be considered. Because we cannot live there waiting for you to apply and you have no interest, maybe you are not underqualified or the competence is questionable. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a rule. I had a privilege to travel to Kigali some years back and for personal holiday then. And I was privileged to stay there. That was 2011, so I was not here. So, and I found that...
But Honorable, yes, there would not be any problem even if you are here.
Okay.
It's a personal holiday, you said so.
Honorable Speaker, I would have been a suspect of... anyway, that aside, I was privileged to go there. And Mr. Speaker, this is where that rule doesn't work. Eh? And you find that on the road, in every 2 kilometers, there are army guarding the roads, whatever the security, because the leader there says that Kenya has got fattening camps in form of army barracks. That so his soldiers don't stay in the barracks; they stay on the road, and you'll go very long distance before you find a single army lady, a lady who is an army officer. Then you come to government ministers and you find that there are more than 2/3 gender female. And the third gender rule is not considered. However, that is the extreme. That now is extreme, where you don't really consider, they consider that female gender is very submissive and therefore they can...
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, on a minority.
Mr. Speaker, is it really in order to... We have our own laws in this country. They have clarity on how things should be done. Is it proper for the member to use the floor of the House to use bad examples of other countries, and he wants us to think that those bad behavior of other countries should be used here in Kenya? I think he's grossly out of order. He is using a bad example of how to govern a country. And Mr. Speaker, I should think he should not be allowed to proceed in that direction.
Maybe, Honorable, yes, you can proceed. However, the 2/3 gender rule is a constitutional position. It's not a position by any act of parliament. And therefore, if that need to be challenged, unless we go for a referendum, because it affects Chapter 4 of the Constitution, that is the Bills of Rights. So just proceed within. I urge you, we come back now to our report mostly.
Much obliged.
Yeah, although Honorable Minority, the example he gave, it is true. A country like Rwanda, 80% of their National Assembly are women elected. You can assert that. So he has a point along that line. But maybe to avoid expounding the discussion along that line, let us confine ourselves within the Kenyan law.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in line with our, in the report we already have received from the committee, my caution was, before we blame the appointing authority, we should actually go deeper and ask and go to the level of application. How many had applied? If then the affected gender did not apply, then we absorb we observe the appointing authority of any wrongdoing. That is the question I was throwing, Mr. Speaker, encouraging that all gender, all gender having been considered, let us not compromise competency for anything else. And even a law tries to compromise competency, experience, and expertise, then it should be considered for review. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Joyce. Thank you, Honorable DS.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm also happy to see the report, which is a bit unfortunate because in this same house, last year, I had inquired about the issue of disability and those who have employed. And just to refresh our memories, out of the almost over 2,700, the county had only engaged 18 persons with disability, which was now bringing to only a threshold of even less than 1%. And I like what the minority leader had inquired. What happens to statements once we have expounded them? How do we really ensure that the same is actually, like something goes back to the executive to ensure compliance? Because it's one thing to note they have not complied. Right now, maybe for the chief officers, we are saying maybe in the next, but we are just saying maybe. There is no assurance that the executive will basically come and be able to do that in the next recruitment. So it's very important that maybe that idea of how does that then translate to information that reaches the executive for compliance. Because as even the minority leader has said, I've seen some of those reports where the issue keeps on being said, these persons with disability did not apply, even as the DS is even trying to insinuate in his contribution that about competence. You see, that basically tells how do we even know that they never applied? How do we know that they are not even competent? So it's important that we are strictly adhere to the regulations that have been set by the Constitution, because there is a reason why those laws were put there, is to ensure that marginalization that has continued in this country, we can be able to balance and have equity in appointments so that people may sit in the decision-making tables and we may be able to move the country forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Joyce. So maybe as we proceed to the next order, I noted in the report that Honorable Sasha, I have noted in that that you have concluded your statement by urging the appointing authority comply with the constitutional 2/3 gender rule. I don't know whether as a committee you have communicated the same to the governor, and if not, I direct the office of the clerk to inform the office of the governor through the office of the county secretary of the contents of this statement for His Excellency to take the necessary action. Next order.
Order number 8, motions and bills. Under this order, there is a motion by Honorable Samuel Remui Kayani, the Chairperson Committee on Trade, Industrialization, Cooperatives, Development and Partnership.
Very well. Honorable Joyce Munywa.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that this House does adopt the report by the Committee on Trade, Industrialization, Cooperatives, Development and Partnership on the Department Budget Implementation Report of Financial Year 2023-2024 as a report of the House and the recommendation therein as a resolution of the House. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to recognize the immeasurable effort demonstrated by the honorable members of the committee during the meeting as we scrutinize the documents provided. Besides, the committee wishes to register their appreciation to the Secretariat for offering technical expertise during the compilation of this report. Most importantly, I extend our gratitude to your office and that of the clerk for ensuring that entire exercise was successful. Your facilitation ensured the committee received optimal technical and logistical support necessary for the entire process. It cannot go unnoticed. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is my pleasure, lastly, on behalf of the Committee on Trade, Cooperative Development, Industrialization and Partnership, to present this report to the House for consideration and adoption. The committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Committee of Trade, Cooperative Development, Industrialization and Partnership comprises of the following members: Honorable Samuel Rimui Kayani, the chairperson; Joyce Munywa as the vice chairperson; Honorable Nyanga Elijah; Honorable Peter Dhenji; Honorable Dirango Milka; Honorable Hussein Dongo; Honorable Isaac Kongo; Honorable James Keilo Gashomba; Honorable Gatia Naomi; and the Secretariat, Ms. Josephine Wakioro Christine. Mr. Speaker, sir, the county government budget implementation review report for the financial year 2023-2024 was tabled during the 9:30 a.m. sitting on Wednesday, 12 March 2025, whereby the Speaker referred the same to the sectoral committees for scrutiny and subsequent reporting to the House. Consequently, via the letter reference that the County Executive Committee member on Trade, Cooperative Development, Industrialization and Partnership responded with a schedule highlighting the implementation of the budget for the financial year 2023-2024. Additionally, via letter reference as indicated from the CCM for Tourism, Cooperative Development, Trade and Industrialization was received by the Office of the Clerk on the Departmental Budget Implementation Report for the financial year 2023-2024 with the following information: project program name, approved budget for the projects, project location, that's the word, a summary of the project specification, date of procurement, LSO or LPO number, name of contractor or supplier, expected date of commencement, expected date of completion, challenges and success faced during implementation, pending bills accruing during the financial year 2023-2024. The committee wishes to recognize that on 14th March 2025, His Excellency Moses Kiari Badilisha, the Governor of Nyandarua County, did publish a Gazette Notice number 3233 on the reorganization of the departments within the County Executive. Consequently, the Department of Tourism, Cooperative Development, Trade and Industrialization was named to the Department of Trade, Cooperatives, Development, Industrialization and Partnership, with two chief officers, namely the Chief Officer, Trade, Industrialization and Cooperative Development, and Chief Officer, Partnership, Diaspora and Resource Mobilization. Mr. Speaker, the committee carefully considered the various departmental programs in the first supplementary budget for the financial year 2023-2024 as approved by the County Assembly against the annual budget implementation report and summary of the pending bills accruing within the financial year 2023-2024 as provided by the Department for Trade, Industrialization, Cooperatives, Development and Partnership, as shown in the table below. In your tablets, you'll be able to see where the projects are shown, showing the project approved budget, location, date of procurement, LPO, contractor name, expected commencement date, and completion date. The total for the approved budget was 234,325,840. And then the next page, there is the summary of the pending bills, which for the 23-24, which totaled to 41,480,522. Mr. Speaker, sir, the department had an initial budget approval of 622,496,830, one for the financial year 2023-2024. However, during the first supplementary budget, the amount was reduced to 333,305,932 as shown in the table below. Notably, the department had a drastic reduction of 46.5% of its initial budget allocation, translate to almost half of its budget, mostly in the development expenditure. This reduction was as a result of the budgetary reduction of 300 million towards the development of the County Aggregated Industrial Park, CAIP, during the first supplementary budget. An analysis of the department's expenditure from the report by the Office of the Control of Budget for the year ended 30th June 2024 shows an absorption of rate of 82.3% in the recurrent expenditure against 25.9% as development expenditure, which is rather very low and counterproductive. Mr. Speaker, sir, the department had 13 projects, and as at 30th of June, only 5 projects were complete, namely the construction and completion of 2 public toilets in Kalau Ward, renovation of Arboretum and repair of the perimeter fence in Kalau Ward, construction of a 4-door latrine at Gorika, leveling of Turasha Market at Gezioro Ward, construction of Donyojero toilet at North Kinagop Ward. More so, 3 projects were not procured allegedly due to inadequate budgetary allocation. The remaining 5 projects reported as work in progress at different stages of completion, indicating pending bills accruing within the financial year. The department had a major project on the County Aggregation and Industrial Park at Jabini and entered into a contract with Miss Universal Trades Limited for construction of Industrial Park on 4th October 2023 at a contract sum of 464,364,10. The project was a presidential directive implementable in all counties at a cost of 500 million and a matching grant where the county and national government each contribute 250 million. The project's implementation level was quoted at 15% and has 2 blocks measuring 8 by 50 each on being reserved for value addition and the other blocks for aggregation. The project commenced on 12th January 2024 for an initial term of 28 weeks. However, owing to prolonged adverse weather patterns, the project was later extended by 16 weeks to end on that 1st December 2024. Additionally, cash flow challenges occasioned by rate and piecemeal disbursement by the National Treasury tendered the works incomplete by December 2024, prompting a request for extension of the contract. Consequently, the department intends to complete one of the 2 projects blocks using its own allocation with the intention to complete the second block once the national government's funds are received. Recently, the national government, through the Ministry of Investments, Trade, Industry, via letter dated 5th September 2025 to the clerk of the National Assembly, highlighted Nyandarua County as one of the 12 counties scheduled for the funding of the CAIP project worth 250 million in the financial year 2025-2026. In the financial year 2023-2024, the County Assembly appropriated 200 million, whereby 100 million is the county contributions towards the project, but the department only managed to receive 50 million from the National Treasury and managed to cumulatively pay the contractor an amount of 47,026,100 for the financial year 2023-24 as shown in the table below. So we are saying the certificates that have so far been raised were for 83,067,902, but the amount paid is only 47,026,100. Additionally, it is worth noting that the land parcel is fully owned by the county government of Nyandarua under the title number Jabini/5851, having been registered on that January 2024 with an appropriate area of 20 hectares. Okay, the other project is the National Nyandarua County Trade Development Investment Authority and the Nyandarua County Trade Fund. The Nyandarua County Trade Development and Industrial Authority was established as enshrined in Section 5 of the County Trade Development and Investment Act of 2020, where consequently the members were recruited through a competitive public process and consequently vetted by the County Assembly in November 2023. The official swearing in took place on 6 May 2024 and was followed by a one-week induction program. In the first supplementary budget, the authority had an approved budget allocation of Kenya shillings 10 million, so as the recurrent expenditure. As at 30th of June, the Controller of Budget reported the expenditure at 6 million, translating to an absorption of 60.17. Mr. Speaker, sir, Nyandarua Trade Fund had an approved allocation of 15 million in the first supplementary budget, but sadly the monies remain unutilized as at 30th June 2024 for the 7th year consecutively. The recommendation: in view of the aforementioned consideration, the committee recommends the County Executive Committee member for Tourism, Cooperative Development, Trade and Industrialization does ensure that the County Trade Fund is accordingly disbursed as at 30th June 2026. 2, that the County Executive Committee member for Trade, Industrialization, Cooperative Development and Partnership does submit the annual reports for the financial year 2023-24, 2024-25 for the Nyandarua County Trade and Investment Authority in accordance with Section 42 of the Act within 30 days thereof. 3, that the County Executive Committee member for Tourism, Cooperative Development, Trade and Industrialization does make timely efforts to have bills of quantities for various projects prepared on time to avoid instances where projects are underfunded and eventually not implemented. 4, the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning and ICT does ensure the supplementary budgets are finalized and forwarded to the County Executive in good time to avoid delays in procuring and implementing projects. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee observed that as at the date of submission of the annual budget implementation report for the financial year 2023-24 by the department, out of the 12 projects, a total of 5 projects were highlighted as having been complete, representing 41% of complete projects during the financial year. In view of the end of the financial year 2023-24, this translates to underutilization of budget allocation in the department and a relatively low absorption rate. Additionally, the committee wishes to register its disappointment in the frequent changes in the office holders within the departments from the CCM to the chief officers, the directors, among others at large. These frequent changes negatively affect the overall performance of the department in the long run, resulting to delays at the eventual implementation of the report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee appreciates that the CAIP is a milestone project that may finally start value addition of the agricultural produce within the county, creating a source of employment, help our farmers, processors, and small and medium enterprises starting getting value for the investment in the agricultural and related value chains. However, it's regrettable that the department has not been able to complete the project in time, financial challenges being a major setback. despite the contractor raising certificates for works done at different stages. The county has shown efforts towards actualizing the projects, whereas the national government, being the initiator, had previously been non-committal until its last memo on financing the project during the financial year 2025-2026. We can only wait for the disbursement of the Kenya shillings 250 million by the national government to actualize this investment. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee deeply regrets the department has not been able to implement the disbursement of the trade fund to the citizenry of Nyandarua over the last 8 years, despite continuous budgetary allocation appropriated towards the consideration that these monies would highly empower the people. It is their best interest that the monies be rolled out in the current financial year. Additionally, it's unfortunate the authority was unable to discharge its mandate, having utilized over 60% of its recurrent budget in the financial year 2023-2024, implying poor financial prudence of the departments in general. I call upon Honorable Gashomba to second.
Thank you, Honorable Joyce. Honorable Gashomba.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Once again, I want to appreciate the Vice Chair of this committee, Honorable Joyce Munywa, on the report on the Committee on Trade, Cooperative Development, Industrialization and Partnership on the financial budget implementation for the year 2023-2024. And before, Mr. Speaker, I go to the recommendation, I want just to mention a few things on the aggregation center that has been mentioned. Mr. Speaker, you are aware, Mr. Speaker, that the aggregation center that was to be implemented at Jabini by a company called Miss Universe Limited for construction of industrial park on 4th October 2023 at a cost of 463,360,410. The project was an economical model for the KK government, Mr. Speaker, which until to date, Mr. Speaker, has not yet been implemented. The Vice Chair has read about the funds that were appropriated by the County Assembly on the year 2023-2024 at a cost of 200 million toward that project. Mr. Speaker, you are aware, it was a matching program. The county government to contribute 250 million and the national government to contribute 200 million so that it can be able to have 500 million to complete their economical model. Mr. Speaker, about 15% of works that had been done, Mr. Speaker, can be shown on the table below. That the County Assembly was able to appropriate about 100 million. Still waiting for the national government to disburse its funds, Mr. Speaker. Until to date, Mr. Speaker, the project has stalled. It is not working, Mr. Speaker. And I'm appealing to the county government and also the national government to make sure, Mr. Speaker, that the funds that were promised by the national government, and they have highlighted here that the funds are in the budget of the 2025-2026 financial year. I don't agree, Mr. Speaker. The funds are not there. They need to consult once from the national government whether it is true the fund had been allocated in the budget. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is quite shameful that the KK government pronounced itself that you'll be able to complete that project within 1.5 years. But, Mr. Speaker, until now, the project has not yet been implemented. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm appealing to the national government to make sure, Mr. Speaker, we have 1.5 years, the next general election. I don't know what to tell the common Mwananchi when they come over to do their campaigns. But I'm hoping before that time, they'll be able to finalize and give us the remaining 250 million so they'll be able to move forward. On the recommendation, Mr. Speaker, the report has highlighted on the financial report that has been submitted. You are aware, Mr. Speaker, 2023 to 2024, 24-25, the financial reporting that was brought by the Department of Trade and Cooperative, Mr. Speaker, within 30 days, according to the Act, Mr. Speaker, could not even correlate in terms of how the expenditure was. And you are aware, Mr. Speaker, these reports are being for the county assembly so that to be able, Mr. Speaker, to check on the challenges so that the assembly can be able to make some recommendation for the budget implementation and further absorption, Mr. Speaker. The other issue that had been, Mr. Speaker, mentioned is about the bill of quantities. When the budget has been approved by this honorable House, Mr. Speaker, that the department should move in hardy and make sure, Mr. Speaker, the BQs are done in time, so that, Mr. Speaker, we can be able to have the time to implement and also to absorb the funds that will be allocated the department in time because of efficiency and all that. And the other one, Mr. Speaker, is about the supplementary budget. Mr. Speaker, also, the Minister for Finance had been recommended by the committee to make sure, Mr. Speaker, that ensure that supplementary budgets are finalized and forwarded to the county assembly for timely approval and also absorption. Mr. Speaker, when the supplementary budget are brought to the county assembly, Mr. Speaker, are to make funds that were not utilized to be utilized in the next financial year. And if the time that the supplementary budget is brought to the county assembly, when it is too late, Mr. Speaker, we shall not be able to implement as an assembly the programs that are intended in the supplementary budget. That's why, Mr. Speaker, we are appealing to the Minister of Finance that they make sure that the supplementary budget is brought in time so that you can be able to have time, even the assembly, to check on the voters that are there so that you can be able, Mr. Speaker, to move forward as an assembly and move forward. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you.
Thank you. I now propose a question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Trade, Industrialization, Cooperative Development and Partnership on the Departmental Budget Implementation Report of Financial Year 2023-2024 as a report of the House and recommendations therein as a resolution of the House. I'll put the question, which is that this House does adopt the report by the Committee on Trade, Industrialization, Cooperative Development and Partnership on the Departmental Budget Implementation Report of Financial Year 2023-2024 as a report of the House and recommendations therein as the resolution of the House. May those of a similar opinion say aye. May those of a contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, the business of this sitting as appearing on the order paper has been exhausted.
There being no other business to transact under this sitting, I now adjourn the House to Tuesday, the 24th day of February 2026 at 2:30 p.m.